While exploring Elden Ring's vast universe, you'll undoubtedly run into some incredibly challenging locales and bosses. There are many bosses in wide spaces, such as Starscourge Radon and Melania, Blade of Maquella. But you may have observed glowing purple sentinels encircling a circular area. These are Evergales, magical seals meant to encase some horrible entities and prevent them from ever escaping. Unfortunately, summoning spirit ashes to your aid in combating Evergale bosses is not an option. Therefore, it is up to the humble Tarnish to enter and finally defeat these formidable adversaries. Batlimage Hughes is not particularly difficult to defeat, despite being situated in a high-level location. Hughes, who can be found in Celia, Evergaol and Caelid, has very no defense, making it simple to knock him out and prevent him from casting a spell. Hughes can cast damage-dealing AoE spells like his glintstone shards or clouds, if you find yourself moving too slowly. He can also conjure up a large mallet, which is not too difficult to avoid. Tossing him to the ground violently is your best bet, so he can't get up. The unpleasant thing about this boss is that he has his own crimson flasks. He can be found in Malefactors of Evergaol in the southern Liurnia of the Lakes area. Adan attacks with a flail that deals great damage, but you can sneak up behind him and backstab him. Adan casts spells that cause flames, as implied by his name. He frequently casts the Flame of the Fell God spell, which summons flame orbs that whirl around in the sky before blowing up. Your best bet is to use a dex weapon that has rapid attacks and bleed damage. When playing Soulsborne games, you must realize that almost everyone is bigger than you. However, there are benefits to that, particularly when facing actual giants. One such giant can be found in Cuckoo of Evergaol in Liurnia of the Lakes. His name is Bol's Carrion Knight. The fighting style of Bol's is largely the same as that of other giants you encounter, with the exception of his magical sword blasts. Your best bet is still to stay close to him while executing your standard foot stomps, greatsword slams, and occasional dodges. The Alabaster Lord is yet another Evergaol boss found in Liurnia of the Lake's Royal Grave of Evergaol. This boss uses gravity spells to release a purple wave and plunge his sword to the ground. He will occasionally throw a missile at you, or even create a gateway that will generate meteor showers that, if you do not dodge quickly enough, will one-shot you. Another thing to keep in mind is that his curved greatsword can be a delayed attack and deals quite a bit of damage. The picture of deadly grace and elegance is the ancient hero of Zaemar and the Weeping Peninsula. Fighting her is like dancing since she twirls her curved blade around while doing damage and skillfully avoiding incoming assaults. She sends out cold gusts that coat the ground before blowing up and causing frostbite harm to you. She powers up, launching a snowfall and being generally faster and more aggressive once you have reduced her health to half. Although patience is essential, you first need to enter this boss by using one Stonesword key. Bloodhound Knight Darrowell, an early game boss, can be found at Limgrove's Forlorn Hound of Evergaol. Darrowell is a swift and damaging opponent who possesses the Ash of War Bloodhound's Step and the talent Bloodhound's Finesse. You will struggle with this boss if you haven't made many game advancements or updated your weapon. But if you're dealing with him, you can genuinely ask for assistance. Simply use a snap gesture that you can acquire from Merchant Kale in the Church of Ella to locate Blade in the Mistwood Ruins. After meeting Blade, who claims to be looking to kill Darrowell, you can go back to Darrowell's Evergaol, where Blade will be waiting to assist you. Godfroy the Grafted will be rather predictable if you are familiar with Godric the Grafted's Mavacid in depth. The only difference is that Godfroy doesn't have a second phase, so you don't have to be concerned about dragonfire assaults from his arm. Both characters have the exact same battle mechanics. A comparable whirling aerial roll is performed by Godfroy in Golden Lineage of Evergaol on the Altus Plateau. before he crashes to the ground. Avoiding his swings and slams, basically doing the same things you used to beat Godric, will help you win because of his weapon's long range and powerful attack potential. Roundtable Knight Vike is a formidable adversary that attacks with red lightning and a spear. Vike, like a Dan, is a healer who can be found in Lord Contenders Evergaol on the mountaintops of the Giants. Vike is incredibly quick with his spear, and he causes some serious damage. With his Dragonbolt Lightning, he unleashes large AoE assaults that knock opponents to the ground and surround them in a ring of lightning. When dealing with Vike, it helps to equip oneself with weapons like the Bloodhound's Fang and use Bloodhound's Finesse. Expect this boss, the head of the Black Knife Assassins, to attack quickly and viciously. She can one-shot you if you're close and possesses an AoE attack. In addition to being a melee warrior, she throws her blade at you after coating it with the Rune of Death, similar to Black Knife Titch, slowly depleting your HP. You can parry and backstab this boss, who is located in Ringleaders Evergaol and Liurnia of the Lakes, but time is obviously crucial. Like no other, she bobs and glides both above and below the ground, inflicting blows with her black knife in a graceful ballet of death. With unmatched range and damage, the Crucible Knight in Stormhill Evergaol is a literal tank. With quick pokes, thrusts, and the use of his shield to launch you upward, his initial phase is already challenging enough. Everything he does also delivers a lot of damage, but if you try to strike him from behind during his second phase, he suddenly sprouts wings and shows a dragon tail. He occasionally leaps into the air before diving to the ground, while aiming his blade directly at you. Most likely, the hardest Evergaol boss in the lands between is the Crucible Knight.